Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the nervous system regulating exercises video series. So for context, please check out part 1, and this is part 2, so the next 5 exercises I'm going to go through. The first one is going to sound kind of funny, but it's a yawning exercise. So it's kind of a fun one to play around with, because like, oh, this is really weird. So basically, you just pretend to yawn, you kind of fake yawn, 4, 5, 6 times, and eventually you will start to do a real yawn. So I'm not going to demonstrate this one because nobody needs to see, the inside of my mouth. But I promise you that when I did this, it really does make you yawn. And so the idea is to initiate the yawning process with the fake yawns, and then you'll start real yawning, and then you just basically continue to real yawn until you feel your nervous system being more regulated. Might feel like a bit of a burst of energy. When I did this exercise myself, I felt like, I felt pretty good afterwards. So that's the yawning exercise. So pretty simple. Just going to scroll down to the next exercise here. So the next one is diaphragmatic breathing. This would probably be one of the best known nervous system regulating exercises. So this is one where you basically put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and then, typically with eyes closed, but again, if eyes open is more comfortable for you, that's totally fine. But basically just taking a kind of a deep, steady breath in, and you should feel the hand on your chest moving forward slightly, and you should feel the hand on your abdomen moving forward proportionately more than over your chest, because as you're taking that deep inhale, yes, your lungs are expanding full of air, but you should feel your diaphragm dropping as your chest cavity expands with that intake of breath, and then your belly should come out more. So just basically deeply breathing in and out, just kind of focusing on your hands as you are breathing in and out. So you should feel, your bottom hand expanding. A lot of us have a tendency to shallow breathe. We kind of just breathe into our chest. We don't really let our lungs fully expand. And when our lungs fully expand, it tends to be a lot more relaxing for our nervous system. So that's the diaphragmatic breathing. And move down to the next one. So the next one is resonance breathing. So with resonance breathing, they basically studied this type of breathing specifically with respect to helping to optimize heart rate variability. With heart rate variability, if you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically where they measure the time in between heartbeats. And so they have these different devices that can be used to track that, like smart watches and various other devices that are out there that people use to track their biometrics, can measure heart rate variability. There's also fancy devices that cost thousands of dollars, but to my understanding work just about as well as these sort of features of different biometric tracking tools some people have. But what they've shown is that when there's more heart rate variability, that is associated with better health outcomes, or just better health overall. And so this resonance breathing has been shown to actually help improve heart rate variability when people practice it. And it's also something that can be helpful to regulate the nervous system. So with the resonance breathing, then basically the idea is to just do some normal breathing, like so just some normal breathing, do some sort of like some deeper breathing. It doesn't have to be like huge forceful inhales or exhales, just kind of like getting into like a regular rhythm of breathing. And then sort of just double checking here, so you basically breathe in for 5 seconds and then out for 5 seconds, in for 5 seconds, out for 5 seconds, and then basically do that for as long as it takes to start to feel your nervous system regulating again. I mean, for optimizing heart rate variability, one could do that for several minutes potentially, but again, in the context of the Safe and Sound protocol, or just for day-to-day nervous system regulation purposes, then once a person's feeling regulated, then they can stop that resonance breathing. So just sort of I've talked about a couple of different breathing techniques, like the box breathing from the previous video. Just talked about the diaphragmatic breathing. This is more of a just specific type of, just another type of deep breathing exercise that can be used, and again helps to optimize heart rate variability as well. The next one is the extended exhale. So with the extended exhale, you start out by taking several breaths in and out. Again, not really necessarily paying attention to how long in, how long out, but just a few deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and then you start basically doubling the length of your exhale. So if I'm breathing in for 2 seconds, like breathe in, so breathe in 1, 2. Actually, I'll go with my fingers here. So like, then I breathe out for 4 seconds. And And then I could do that for a few repetitions, in for 2, out for 4, and then when I felt ready, then I would do in for 3, out for 6, do that for a few repetitions, then in for 4, out for 8, and could go 5 to 10, 6 to 12, could keep on increasing. Just at no point should the deep breathing experience become forced, become stressful at all. That would be counterproductive in this case. So if one got up to say 6 seconds in, 12 seconds out, or 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out, or 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, and that seems to be like a comfortable maximum, like where by the end of that, say 8 seconds or 10 seconds or 12 seconds out, it's kind of like, oh, like I wouldn't want to have to be exhaling any longer than this. Like this feels like my comfortable limit. Then don't have to bother increasing it further. But if after say several repetitions of in for 5, out for 10, it's like, hey, like I'm at 10 and I'm feeling good, not feeling stressed or uncomfortable at all, then you certainly could go 6 to 12 and keep on going from there. But that's the extended exhale. And the last one is the releasing the neck. So, with this one, it's a pretty gentle neck stretch. That being said, if someone has neck pain, if they have limitations with their range of motion, if there's something funky going on with the neck, this would be something that want to be cautious with using. Again, I'm posting this on social media, so this is not construed. It should not be construed as any medical advice. Definitely talk to your healthcare provider before doing this stretch. If you're my patient and I've recommended that you watch this video, I'll mention to you, I think that the neck stretch is probably not a good choice. The rationale behind the releasing the neck exercise is that the vagus nerve, which run 2 branches of the vagus nerve that run alongside our necks, if the muscles in that neck of the woods, pun intended there, are too tight, then they could be potentially clamping down on the vagus nerve, and this is just basically to help stretch out that area to take any pressure off of the vagus nerve. Also, it can be useful from a regulating perspective. Again, these are so many different options for regulating the nervous system. For some folks, just doing a stretch like this will help to kind of bring them back into their body, give them something to focus on, like something physical to focus on. So again, lots of different options, and this could be a helpful one to help with the nervous system regulation during the Safe and Sound protocol. So for this one, it's pretty straightforward. Basically just involves, not a bad idea to take a couple of breaths in and out before doing this, but then basically just slowly bringing, say, on my right side here, so just slowly bringing my right ear as far as I comfortably can to my right shoulder, and then from there, then I can turn my head and just kind of go as far as I have to talk towards the microphone, or you're not going to hear me, but basically turn, there we go, as far as I can comfortably, and then basically just feeling that stretch on the opposite side of my neck, and then holding that for a few breaths, and then I can do the other side and could go back and forth. So, so again, just without actually talking, but it's lateral flexion to the side and then turning. So if I do the other side here, and that's all there is to it for the releasing the neck exercise. So one more video to come with the last 5 exercises, and I'll leave this video here for now.